Okay. Let me see here. Peace, everybody. If you just coming in, man, peace to the family out there. Let me see here. We about to get it in a minute, man. It's like my first time using this Zoom. Peace, everybody. So y'all kind of be patient with me. Coming in, man. Peace to the family out there. Let me see here. We about to get it in a minute, man. It's like my first time using this Zoom. So y'all kind of be patient with me. Peace to the family out there. Hey, real quick, man, is it like some feedback coming through on the line? I'm just curious to know. Somebody in the chat let me know if it's a lot of feedback coming through. Somebody in the chat let me know if it's a lot of feedback. Let me see. Y'all hear feedback? Okay. Wait a minute. Y'all hear feedback? What about now? Is this some feedback kicking through now? Okay. Somebody give me some feedback. What about now? Is this some feedback kicking through now? Somebody give me some what about now? There's some delayed feedback. Let me see. Sorry about this, y'all. First time using this joint, man, but we about to go in a minute. What about now? Can y'all still hear me out there? Can y'all still hear me out there? Can y'all hear me out there? Peace, peace, peace. Can y'all hear me out there? Somebody said it's echoing. Why is it echoing? Can y'all still hear me out there? Let's see. Somebody in the chat, let me know if y'all can still hear me out there. Hopefully y'all can. All right, so I'm good now. People telling me that I'm good, right? Not sure what the hell's going on here, but everybody's saying I'm good, right? And y'all can hear me, right? Everybody can hear me. I just want to be clear. All right, so hold on 1 second, everybody. Let me let's share the screen. Let's do this. All right. Can y'all see my screen? I just want to know. Somebody in the chat, let me know if y'all can see my screen out there. I gotta get used to this joint. Y'all can see my screen, right? Somebody, what y'all see on my screen right now? What y'all see on the brother screen? Do y'all see oh, somebody coming, you sending your testimony over, huh? Somebody said he bills and went down already. That's what it is. That was from our money moon ritual the other day. But y'all can see my screen though, right? Y'all can hear me, y'all can see me, and y'all can still see my screen, correct? Okay. All right, cool. So listen, first time using this joint. I appreciate everybody's patience, man. I'm gonna get better with this. The more I utilize this software. Somebody say they manifested a check already. That's what I'm talking about. Just like that. It don't take no time. But man, y'all don't want to get off the subject matter, man. That was a great call we had the other night. Quantum Money Moon, man. We went in. It was wonderful. But tonight, I want to touch on this whole Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion joint. Now, I'm not here to pick sides, right? So I'm not here to pick sides or say, either way. What I'm here to do tonight is to demonstrate this law that I talk about all the time that I've coined, quantum imaging, that has been popularized as the term the law of attraction. What Scripture calls in the New Testament the law of liberty, right? So if you're not familiar, some people may not follow hip hop like that, and that's okay. These two are relatively younger artists, still in their 20s and whatnot. And back in, just to give the people the backstory for those that may not be familiar. And if at any time y'all can hear me or see my screen or something, somebody just let me know in the comments. That way I can try to figure out what's going on as I'm moving through this presentation tonight. But back in July of this year, mass story broke out. TMZ reported it, as well as other outlets reported that Megan Thee Stallion had been injured. I think if they first reported it as like a regular foot injury or something. And then as the more information came out, they went on to say that she had been shot. She went on, I think maybe Instagram Live or something, and said that Tory Lanez shot her, right? Can y'all still hear me in the chat? Everything good? All right, cool. So, and then so he put out an album shortly after that. I think the album came out like on his birthday or something. Or it was either his birthday or the day that his mom passed. I forget the significance, but it was one of the two. And he did a couple lives talking about, he's professing he's innocent. He didn't do it. He's confident that when all the facts come out, he's going to be exonerated. All of these things are effects. I want to talk tonight about, because when people hear the term law of attraction, everybody thinks of this goody two shoes, peace, love, and light type of thing. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist. As you can see, you got people in the comments right here who comment on that side of the coin in relationship to using the law. But there's another side. And usually the other side, people don't want to claim that harvest because they think that the mind is intrinsically only supposed to produce positive results, right? So if you're not aware about how this actual law is working, then you can put yourself in a pickle. Now, I don't know if Tory Lanez gonna catch this video, or if Megan Thee Stallion gonna catch this video, But if they do, man, I hope y'all take something from it and learn something from it, because there's still some things that can be done, even though it has progressed to this point as far as mentalism is concerned. Right? And maybe I'll talk about some of that toward the end. But as I show here, right? Tory Lanez, felony assault charge. I think they say he's facing up to like 23 years, maybe 22, 23 years if he's convicted of all of the, the charges that have been brought against him. But that still affects, right? But I just want to paint a clear picture to give people enough information so they know what's going on, so that if they're trying to fill in the gaps about what the hell is you talking about, you get a firm understanding of what transpired up until this point. But what I really want to talk about, anytime I'm running my mouth or talking about anything in the mainstream, it is always predicated upon me being able to teach this phenomenon, so that through some of people's heroes, whether it be in music or in sports or in politics or in movies or whatever the case may be, it becomes easier for people to understand this dynamic when it's being expressed on the bigger, larger stages of life. And then maybe they can kind of be like, oh, okay, now I get it. Especially when they have an emotional attachment to the figure who's utilizing the principle, right? And so I want y'all to read this with me. Right? It says now here's what happened. Tory Lanez has had a notorious Instagram page, right? Peace to the family. Peace to everybody coming in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming to kick it with me tonight. So Tory Lanez had a lit Instagram, like you know how the young boys do, man. They be on there, they be having the women popping that thing, talking wild. They in their element. That's what they do, right? And so he has some stuff going on, and Instagram was like, look, man, this type of adult entertainment. You're pushing the envelope just a little bit too far, Mr. Lanez, right? And so Instagram came through, and shut the page down. So what did Tory Lanez do? Let's read. It says, after losing his live privileges, Tory took to Twitter to start the hashtag Free Tory. Now you can see the date. If you look down on this screen, 5:49 p.m., this was April 7th. So this is before any July shooting with Megan Thee Stallion. But hold your horses. We're going to see how this thing develops. So it says, he also launched a second Instagram account called The Quarantine Radio, which was also disabled. It says, we will be back, hashtag Free Tory Lanez vow. Now, do you guys see what this gentleman did to himself? He takes a picture as if he's incarcerated. Full jumpsuit. Look at this. Squatting down near the toilet by his bunk. In a cell with the gates closing and the guard coming with the key to lock the gate. Man, you cannot do things like this. You should hear Ampu tell the story about Tip. Remember when they used to do them punks with Ashton Kutcher, I think his name was? And they came and put all them bullets in Tip's hand? And Tip was like, get these ain't mine. Get these out my hand. A few months later, they come and get Tip with all them guns. Now, I could go through story after story But I don't want to be here all night and holding up y'all time in that way. But as you can see here, he thinks that this is just, he's role playing. He's role playing, right, in pictures as if he's been locked up, right? And he's got a whole fan base who's, because they shut down his other page. So then went and made another page, and he thought they weren't going to catch up to that page. They called up to that page, and they figured out it was him. And they said, no, buddy, we got to shut this one down too. But he's got all these photos of himself going to jail, in jail. You see? So now, oh yeah, hit the like button, man. Thumbs up, man. It's like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, right? But I'm really here just to teach, really, to be honest. So here's one person who shared this. Look how many people hit the like button on this. 60,415 people. Why is this important, Jude? Why is this important? See, in quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum imaging is the brand that I've coined and termed. There's something called quantum wave collapse. Google it. Read about it later in your spare time. And what it says is this, in a nutshell, that subatomic particles, electrons, photons, these type of things, the building blocks, the fundamental building blocks of the physical world, right? Everything is made of atoms. So at the core, we're talking electrons, neutrons, protons, et cetera, right? So in these experiments, in these double slit experiments, what they discovered was this. When that wave, because they found out light operates in two forms, as a wave or a particle. Simply meaning a wave is like infinite potential, unlimited possibilities. It could be here, it could be there, it could be all of these places at the same time, right? Whatever you may be looking for can be spread out all over the place, present, past, future. But what they discovered was when you make an observation or a recording, or another term that they use as a measurement, went over this the other night on our Money Moon ritual presentation, where I showed them the translation for the moon in witness and scripture and how it literally comes out to mean a recorder. So open your eyes to something if you're paying attention. Now, what they discovered in these laboratories is that when a human being, and it doesn't always have to be a human being, it can be any recording device. But see, anytime you look, that means you're recording it. You're processing the data. So they found out that, man, the moment that you look at something, it does what? At the time of observation, the particle becomes a localized space-time event. It becomes solidly real. It's no longer wave, baby. Kiss the wave goodbye, right? Once you get on your surfboard and you gnarly dude, and you know on a nice big Pacific Ocean wave, once you've lined it up and made a measurement, it's over with. The wave has been collapsed. So Tory Lanez, thinking that he's being creative or funny or making a statement, right? Because remember what they said now. He said when he done that image in that picture, he starts a hashtag that says free Tory Lanez. He's implying, now you got to understand something about the way that information is being perceived. He's implying that he's locked up. That's not funny. It's not a joke. You should never ever, and 50 Cent he's aware of this too. I remember heard him on an interview talking about Pop Smoke. And he said he used to always tell Pop Smoke, anytime you talk about death or, anything negative, you in your raps, if you're gonna rap about it, rap it away from you. He said that on an interview a couple months back. He's like, if you're gonna write about it and talk, you gotta kind of write it away from you, like it's moved away from you and you're not in the middle of it. So even if 50 don't understand the science behind it, intrinsically we know, or people are becoming more aware that, look, it's something strange about when we talk about certain things or portray things in a certain way, right? Even when 50 was doing the not the power joint, but the other one that he came out with, where he had the brother who was like fighting the case and he got out, or he represented himself or something. And then a couple weeks later, something eerily similar happened in a real court case. And 50 was like, wow, man, like life is imitating art. So people are starting to get a better understanding or some type of insight, like, wait a minute, something weird is happening here. But really all they coming to finally understand is that we are the makers of what appears in front of us later. So your thoughts and your feelings are the two most valuable things that you have as an individual, because these two things will make or break your reality. Okay? But as scripture put it, it's the stone that the builders rejected, and people still reject it to this day. We put more value in the thing manifested than the manifester, right? So let's look at this. Look what people were saying in the comments, right? Somebody said, what is this? Glockanese. This is because people was replying because they must have remembered it when he posted. Look what they said. This ain't age well. Then look what Carnegie Pierre said. Damn, this man can predict the future. No, he created it. Wow, this was a cross of jinx. Right? No, he created it. And I guess you could say he predicted it, but not in the sense that, because he would never ever seek out consciously to predict him being in a shooting situation with a high profile artist, especially a woman. Like, that looks really bad, man. You know what I mean? Irregardless of what may have happened, it just looks bad, right? So, and people, it didn't age well, of course, but it came right on time, right? So let's look at how this thing happens, right? And y'all getting a dose of some of the stuff that my members generally get when we have our webinars and our conference calls. But I figure since I'm going to do a Zoom YouTube tonight, I might as well kick it up another gear and kind of give you some of the inside scoop of some of the stuff that we do, right? But, right, this is from Science News, right? December 10th, 2018, source University of Colorado at Boulder. I don't be guessing. I'm not guessing. I'm not trying to give you no workable philosophy, right? I'm not saying philosophy is like a bad thing, because it does inspire and provoke one to think or have a different idea about something, which may lead to a larger truth. But look, I'm nailed down to the flow with this thing, right? All right. So It says, your brain on imagination. It's a lot like reality, the studies show. New brain imaging research shows that imagining a threat lights up similar regions as experience, and it does. It suggests imagination can be a powerful tool in overcoming phobias or post-traumatic stress. Now listen, I've taken these tools both from modern day science and ancient texts that have been said this in their own way through stories and allegories, right? The Bible, the Quran, other ancient texts gave you plenty clues on how this phenomenon actually works. And here modern day science has come along to kind of verify it to a certain degree. But I've created techniques for this, positron past, to rewrite the past. People who had issues, things have happened. Because I know trauma, phobias are a real thing, right? And my goal is to alleviate it as much as I can with the people who look like me, come from the experience that I came from. And it's just not limited to Black folks. It's for anybody who wants it, that is serious about putting the work in, man, right? But it's plenty other articles that talk about how the imagination and reality are one and the same as far as the way that the mind processes what it's seeing. Now, what did Tory Lanez do? He imitated being locked up, didn't he? Right? He ran his best prison inmate imitation, right? All because Instagram blocked him for a week. They only told him it was a week. I think they blocked him on April 7th. And they told him, man, on the 14th, we'll revisit it. Maybe we can let you come back and do your thing. But for now, you blocked, sir. So then he went to a whole free Tory campaign, went through all of these extremes, behind bars, people locking him up, throwing away the key, right? So he did his imitation. So he used scripture, but he used it in a way where it was detrimental to his situation. See, because scripture tells you be imitators of God, right? But if God, i.e. the potter, is imagination in the mind at work, whatever you're imagining or creating in your mind is essentially God. So if you take whatever you're thinking and you imitate it externally, oh boy, it's called role playing, right? Role playing out what it is that you want to manifest in this world. But let's look at this. Our brains start to see things as possible by imitating it at a lower level. Even when the brain sees something that is physically impossible, it still stimulates the brain as a possible action. So you know how you may watch a movie and the head is spinning around 360 degrees, or you think you're watching sci-fi, or it's just a movie, or it's just fiction, right? Your surface mind is processing it that way. But the deeper regions of your brain is looking at that phenomenon, and it's starting to calculate ways to make it possible. So is there really anything called fiction? Is fiction, is it anything? There's really no such thing as fiction. The brain is always processing a way to bring what appears to be totally implausible and impossible to fruition. Right? Evan Anti, right? Evan Anti, somatic and motor components of action simulation. Right? Current biology, misspelled that, 2007. For the people who are looking to further look into the phenomenon. I'm not making none of this up. So what is Tory doing? He imitated a whole scene. He role played a whole scene out and then dropped it where his followers, he got millions of followers. And it don't take but one person with strong enough conviction to make matter move for thousands. It's called Hitler, right? This mob had such a strong conviction for what he wanted to see and envision, that he got millions of people to follow behind his ideal and principle. I remember watching a Mike Tyson interview. I think it was with Joe Rogan. And Mike Tyson said he had just studied all of the conquerors of the world. And he said, Alexander and all these other people, all these other names. And he said he always wanted to know, like, what's wrong with a person who thinks that they can just go around and conquer a whole country, a whole nation. He said there has to be something else going on in their brain. He's like, that's like crazy. But he's like, I wanted to study it to find out what makes these people tick. So you can have evil genius and you can have creative and great genius, because see, this law of attraction thing is neutral. It depends on how you use it. Okay? So now, give you another example. At the very top, for those that may not be in the sports, this gentleman's name is Andre Iguodala. He played for the Golden State Warriors at this time. The backstory on this is his son made him a Father's Day gift 3 months in advance. 3 months in advance. In April, his son, for a project at school, made his father this trophy and made him a card that said Dad of the Year 2015. Well, you might say, well, Golden State was a really good team, right? Do you know? Look what they said. Look what this article said about Andre Iguodala. Andre Iguodala is worst NBA Finals MVP in the last 30 years. Anybody they said, no way. They gave it to him. They said, because he played great defense on LeBron. And LeBron still averaged like 30 some odd points, right? But that's beside the point. What am I getting at here? Andre Iguodala is the first player in NBA history to not start one regular NBA season basketball game to win a Finals MVP in the history of basketball. Coincidence? No. See, once this law gets set into motion, it ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Whatever has to happen will happen. So really, Andre Iguodala can thank his son for creating the quantum image 90 days in advance. And I got plenty more examples like this, right? But here goes some more Tory. On this video, this freestyle video, Tory Lanez freestyles on Funk Flex, right? Well, in this video, Tory Lanez got a line that says something like, something about he the type that start trouble at the school. And then he say something, then the bar, he closes the bar out with like, but I'm the type to go and pop chicks in the pool. But he's got his hands, as you can see, right? Look at his hand, right? He's got his hand, when he say pop, he's got his hands in a trigger motion like he's squeezing the trigger on a gun, right? I said, now this is interesting. Why? Right? Because remember, I tell people, when you translate the word, right? When you translate the word, it literally comes out to mean a computation. So there's 4 components in this computation, right? Imaging is one, words are another. So, and these are arguably, well, all of them are equally important, but these are powerful things. So we saw the imagery already, and here go the words. He the type that pop chicks in the pool. Now later, if you listen to the rest of the rap, he cleaned it up to make it seem like sexual advancements was the meaning of the word pop. But his body language, while he was spitting the bar, pop, what this look like to y'all? Right? So what he said afterwards versus what his body was doing in relationship to the words that he was using at the time specifies something totally different. Now, you the type to roll up and pop chicks at a pool? Okay. The story says what, Jew? Look at this. Megan, Kylie Jenner, and Tory Lanez hanging out via IG Live, right? Look at the date. July 12th, 2020, right? Right? They were at a pool party. If you go listen to the Tory, I think it was the last one he did when he came out talking about, you know, the most recent one he came out talking about exactly what's going on in the situation and proclaiming his innocence even more. He said, man, you know, Kylie was over there looking like an angel, and you know, and maybe Megan got moved by that. Whether that's true or not, nobody knows except for, you know, we're taking what he's saying at face value. Somebody else may have a different rendition of that story, but we're just going off what's said. But what we do know it was a pool party setting. So now we got you put yourself behind bars back in April. Then you spin these bars before that about how you pop chicks at a pool. And then Megan Thee Stallion gets shot, right? From after leaving a pool party. Now you listen. Yeah, coincidence, like my homie said, because everything coincides. When everything starts to coincide, then you're gonna have to start asking yourself some serious questions about this phenomenon, right? But I want to read these passages to you because this sums it up pretty much for Mr. Lanez in this situation. This is Isaiah 48:3. It says, I foretold the former things long ago. My mouth announced them and I made them known. Then suddenly I acted and they came to pass. Now, anybody that's your first time here, you may say, okay, he calls himself Minister Jew, right? But I don't use the scripture literally. It's a psychological drama, trying to teach you the laws of consciousness and how to utilize these things to better your situation and know what to look out for on a mental plane so that you run into less and less obstacles, right? While you're perfecting your godhood, right? Because even the Christ tell you, does it not say in your law that ye are gods? Right? So I don't know what the pastor teaching most people, but whatever. I ain't here for that tonight. But you see, you say something out your mouth, man, and you say something out your mouth, and you're gonna have to pay the consequence for it or receive the benefit for it. Right? Now, somebody said, oh, well, I guess they retracted it. But anyways, what I read was, well, she's the only one that said she got shot. That's neither here nor there. He's in a situation, whether she was shot or not, that puts him in a situation where he's going to have to go to jail if they convict him. So all I'm looking at is what's the cause. All of the effects are really null and void. All of that will get wrinkled out however the scenario plays out. Now, looking at the evidence that I have that renders what the cause is, I'm just going to be honest. It ain't looking really good for Mr. Lanez in relationship to the things that have predated his quantum image. Now, that don't mean that he can't change the way the wave is collapsing. There's a passage in scripture that talks about that too. Right? Second joint. He said, this is Isaiah 43:19. Behold, I will do a thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. So what are they really saying here, Jew? This is what I mentioned earlier. However, the manifestation needs to come into play. Whether you got to run a road through the wilderness or rivers pop up in a dry place. In other words, whatever needs to happen will happen in order for this thing to come to full maturation. This is the technology of the gods. You, me, and everybody else who's listening to this is your technology. This is your human technology, man. That people are bypassing, right? But they're using it every day. And then when the harvest show up 30, 60, 90 days later, nobody recognizes their own harvest because our memories are so fickle and you don't know that you're utilizing the law. And lastly, Deuteronomy 32:39. See, now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. Talking about you. Ain't nobody out there in no sky. It's you. It's I am he. You are he. You are it. You are the force. Ain't no other God somewhere. Ooh, please. No. But look what it says. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. Ooh. See, Minister Jew chooses to make alive. Minister Jew chooses to heal. So, as you see people early in the chat talking about they got testimonials, it ain't even been 2 days. And people already got testimonials about to send me over. The Imagination Guru at Gmail, Jew1111, send them on over. You can make a video, real short video, 3 to 5 minutes. That'll be cool too, so I can post it to this page so people can see you in all your glory, telling your story about how things have already shifted. If whoever's out there who mentioned that earlier, the few people that I saw. But see, it ain't none that can deliver out of my hand. See, once you make the decision, whether consciously or unconsciously, and you set something in motion, ain't none can stop it. Even if it's a desert, you're gonna make some waters run through it. Even if it's a wilderness, you're gonna make a road run through it. No matter what got to happen. Listen, man, I saw one man write a book that caused 2,000 people to lose their lives. I'm not making this up, man. Go purchase my first book, Imagination at Work. It's available on Amazon. And you'll see some of the stories and examples in there. Right? But this what's next, y'all. Hip-hop laws of attraction. Can we really speak it into existence? I'm taking this Tory Lanez story. It's going in the final chapter in the book. Along with Triple X, Juice WRLD, Nipsey Hussle, Snoop Dogg, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. I'm going to show you, man. I'm going to show them. Right? And how, it's a learning experience. See, we're amateur gods. We're amateur godding. And we're just coming to the point where we're starting to kind of get an idea or a hold on it. But boy, once we get this thing logged back into the memory, it's going to be lights out. It's going to be lights out. So yeah, man. Let me see something here. Let me see. Can everybody still hear me out there? Y'all can still hear me and see me out there? Hopefully y'all can. I know it's a slight delay. But yeah, man. So anybody got any questions in the chat, drop them, man. I take a few tonight. If y'all want to get it in a little bit, man, you know, they got me back on YouTube, man. I don't know how the hell that happened, but I'm here. You know what I mean? And I guess I've just been inspired. People be sending me stuff, man, and gives me an opportunity to teach on it, man. You know. Um, but yeah, man, you know. So that's it, man. I just wanted to run through a brief presentation here, man, on how this law actually works, man. Tory Lanez, if you watching, if you get a chance to come across this video, man, hit a brother up, 877-345-3797, man. Megan Thee Stallion, same way, 877-345-3797, man. You know, straight up, straight up, you know. Somebody asked me about LeBron. Yeah, that was some quantum imaging too. Um, you know, but maybe I say that for another conversation, man. What up, Monica? I see you in the chat. What's good? K Money, what's good? You know what I mean? So yeah, man, listen, visit the website, theimaginatinguru.com. Join the premium membership. We have monthly classes, webinars, conference calls, guided visualizations, one-on-one conversations between me and you if you got an issue, especially health-wise, where we need to implement a specialized PDF for people. You get multiple techniques every month, man. Positron Pass, Wishing Well, House of Telomere, Your Majesty, Inner Room, Quantum Family Tree, um, Tattoo Party. Got a bunch of joints, you know what I mean? Where you come in every month, you have some appetizers to keep you in a good space while you're working on your main course meal, which is the reason that you signed up in the first place. You know what I mean? And this is a thing where it's dedication, man. You got to be dedicated to it. You got to be willing to put the work in, right? To carve out the time and the space to practice at least twice a day. At least twice a day, man. And we give implementation protocol on how to do that, right? You know? So, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, share, tell a friend, man. Let them know about Minister Jew. They definitely can benefit from this information, man. I always say it, man. You come in and you serious, I promise you, your life gonna change. You're gonna be happier, more joy in your heart. You know what I mean? And the other areas that's tangible that you can measure will change too, man. If you apply the principles wholeheartedly and give yourself all the way to it, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know. But with that, man, I'm signing out, man. I catch y'all next time. Visit the site, theimaginationguru.com. Download those products. Join the membership, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.